Now at 6, police in Chanute, Kansas arrest a second suspect in the shooting death of a teenager. Plus, plans to bury a fallen Bonne Terre, Missouri officer in his hometown of Carthage. And some Southwest Missouri voters will decide on a proposed tax increase to help their fire department.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police have released the identity of a man shot by an officer over the weekend and the charges against that man. This is KOAM News at 6. 34-year-old Michael Yarga of Joplin is charged with third-degree assault and resisting arrest. That incident happened on Saturday. Police say an officer made contact with 3 people near 9th and Connor when one man ran and the officer chased after him. Authorities say Yarga stopped a few blocks away and assaulted the officer. A second officer then shot Yarga. The injured officer was treated and released. Yarga is still in the hospital. The Missouri Highway Patrol is investigating the shooting. A second person is arrested in connection with the shooting death of a 15-year-old Chanute, Kansas teen. Police were called to the 200 block of Walnut, where they found Nasha Gregory with a gunshot wound on March 13th. She died at a hospital. According to court documents, 20-year-old Mackenzie Steves of Topeka is now charged with endangering the welfare of a child, contributing to a child's misconduct, and interfering with law enforcement in that case. Steves was arrested in Coffeyville. Steves' co-defendant, 19-year-old Trevin Hayes Smith, is already in custody, charged with involuntary manslaughter, aggravated child endangerment, contributing to a child's misconduct, and interference with law enforcement. Both will be in court this week for their first appearance. Police in Parsons, Kansas are searching for a suspect they say tried to kill a man. They're looking for David Young III. They say Young got into a fight with Tyrone Mayweathers of Kansas City in front of a Parsons bar and shot Mayweathers back on March 5th. First responders found Mayweathers with multiple gunshot wounds and rushed him to the hospital, where he is still receiving care. Young is wanted for attempted second-degree murder and criminal possession of a firearm by a felon. Police believe he has left the area. A Kansas City man has died from injuries suffered in a Joplin fire last week. Fire crews were called last Thursday to a fire at an old warehouse in the 1400 block of South Virginia. 2 people were taken to the hospital with burns. 50-year-old Aaron Simons has died from his injuries. The fire department in Joplin has ruled the fire accidental due to occupants grinding metal near combustible materials. Let's check in with Nick Kelly now for a first look at the weather.
Just the same story for yet another day. Dow, a lot of cloud cover. Some of us on the Missouri side seeing some scattered showers, maybe a couple of random thunderstorms earlier this afternoon. But now we're just seeing the backside of the system filter in. It's certainly keeping the cloud cover in play from 7th and Rangeline, that's for sure. But any storm chances we have with the system is pretty much done. But we got to deal with the backside with additional showers working into our western counties. Maybe a couple spots aloft where it's cold enough for a few snowflakes to try to mix on down. But if you look at the big picture overall, at least we're better off. I hate to put it that way, but it is true compared to the severe weather ongoing across parts of the deep south. Around here, though, we have temperatures trending cooler as we go throughout the course of the night. Right now, though, we got a range of temperatures from the lower 40s to lower 50s all across the board, but the showers will pick back up throughout the course of the night. Maybe a few snowflakes or some. It's not looking like a big deal, but snowflakes in the forecast because it might just be cold enough now with temperatures back in the mid to upper 30s. We'll see when the system will clear out here in a bit.
See you then. The National Weather Service says last night an EF2 tornado tore through the Kingsman, Oklahoma area and parts of Texas near Texoma. The preliminary report estimates top wind speeds reached up to 115 miles per hour. Officials in the Kingston area say several people were injured and one person in Marshall County, Texas was killed in that storm. The Red Cross opened a shelter at Kingston High School for people affected by the tornado. The burial of an eastern Missouri police officer is planned for the Carthage area this coming weekend. Officer Lane Burns was killed last week in a shootout with a suspect in Bonne Terre, Missouri. Now his burial is scheduled for this coming Sunday in his hometown of Carthage. A funeral procession will travel through Carthage around 1 Sunday afternoon prior to burial at 2 p.m. at the Harvey Cemetery in Carthage. The 30-year-old officer was born in Carthage and was a graduate of the Carthage High School class of 2009. He leaves 2 children. You can find more information on the procession route through Carthage at KOAMnewsnow.com. Election Day is 2 weeks away, and some voters will decide on a tax increase for Tri-Cities Fire Protection District. The district covers the Missouri towns of Alba, Purcell, Next City, Cossville, and Galesburg. Officials are asking for an additional tax levy of 30 cents to hire another daytime firefighter for a total of 3. Currently, volunteer firefighters handle calls from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. The fire chief says this vote would also change the ISO rating from 7 to 5, which would reduce mortgage insurance rates.
Very important out here in the rural. The ambulance sometimes can be 20 to 30 minutes before they get here. So it can be a life and death, change or a saving by the time they get out here. We're on scene, and if it's a code, we're already doing CPR. So it can save lives by far.
This Saturday, the fire district is hosting an open house at Station 1 from 4 to 6 p.m. Some local elementary students today built a city of their own. 4th graders at Pittsburgh's Lakeside Elementary spent 3 months researching for their Just Imagine Kansas project. Students researched Kansas-based businesses to bring life to their new city. The teacher says it gives students first-hand look at economics and local businesses.
It puts their hands on it, it makes it more real. I can stand in front of them and teach them supply and demand all day long, but when I'm putting it in their actual hands, they seem to click with it better.
Some local businesses donated products to the students to make their presentation more official, and the Chamber of Commerce hosted a ribbon cutting. Coming up, a local theater teacher is receiving a national award for her work in the arts. Plus, some local Special Olympics athletes put their basketball skills to the test. Pittsburgh theater teacher is getting some national recognition for her work. Lola Wade teaches at St. Mary's Colgan High School and was named the 2022 recipient of the National High School Heart of the Arts Award. This week, her students are performing Beauty and the Beast, and today elementary students got a sneak peek of the show.
I just want them to succeed because really theater is a crossover, it's a crossover class because what they learn in theater and music and art, they can apply to any part of their life and anything they want to do.
Opening night for Beauty and the Beast is tomorrow, 7 p.m. There will be 2 additional shows on Saturday at 2 and at 7. The lights at Roller City Skate and Play in Joplin may have been out, but the fun was still going on. The Skate Center hosted this spring break glow party. People were asked to wear glow-in-the-dark clothes and were given glow sticks to set the atmosphere.
Several kids that come during the weekend, and this is like one of their favorite places to come. So I know that having an option to come during the week instead of just the weekend is really important for them as well.
Activities at today's event included skating, of course, laser tag, and fun at an indoor playground. Local athletes showcased their basketball skills today during an event hosted by Special Olympics Joplin. KOAM's Jalen Banks has more on how the event not only helps them brush up on basketball, but other skills as well.
The Pittsburgh Family YMCA is hosting a Special Olympics Basketball Skills Day. Athletes participated in 3 different events, including shooting, dribbling, and passing. Most importantly, it gives them the opportunity to interact with one another.
One of the great things, everybody thinks about the excitement of the competition, and that's all great and that's wonderful, but one of the things I like to watch is how everybody that doesn't necessarily get to see each other all the time, how those friendships start to form again and how they're able to form new friendships with new people, and they have so much in common with each other.
This event allows the athletes to experience the thrill of making a basket, dribbling the ball well, and making a good pass, but also the chance to feel something more.
Participants, they learn confidence, they are able to be celebrated and included into their community. Inclusion is a big part of what Special Olympics does, and then of course you have the confidence that comes along with achievement.
Athletes we spoke with enjoyed the events and encouraged others to get involved.
My favorite activity was when we did speed dribbling because it because I'm really good at it. If anyone has special needs, I highly recommend to come to Special Olympics.
In Pittsburgh at the Family YMCA, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
This is the first event Special Olympics Kansas has been able to host in almost 3 years. A little bit later, it's opening day of spring practice for the Pitt State football team.
But first, we got to put up with a few more days of cloudy skies and mainly rain chances. We'll break down the forecast next. Pretty much the same story for yet another day. The clouds stuck around once again, kind of mild with highs near 60. At least we weren't as wet as we were the other day, but we still have some scattered showers across parts of southwestern Missouri and northwest Arkansas earlier this afternoon. But the look now from Landers, just on the southeast side of Joplin, the live view shows the road's looking okay for now, but still plenty of cloud cover up top, signifying that the storm system it's not quite done with us just yet. Certainly doing the trick with keeping temperatures maybe a little bit cooler than normal. 61, at least at 11 a.m. yesterday afternoon, but in the morning rather. Then we got into the lower 50s this morning and right back around 60 for most of us throughout the portions of the day. However, we still have to contend with the backside of the system passing on through. But like Doug said the other day, a weak boundary with the system pushed on through, and we did see some scattered showers, maybe a couple random thunderstorms at time. Fortunately, that activity did not turn terribly strong and certainly not severe. But still, it added to the rain that we saw yesterday. On top of the ½ inch to 2 inches of rain that we saw, area-wide averages just for today alone, almost pushing it ½ an inch on the average, with the bulk of the action right along southwestern Missouri and northwest Arkansas. But any storm chances we have in the system are pretty much done, but now we're dealing with the backside of the system building in. It's keeping the cloud cover in place, that's for sure. But you can see how extra moisture wrapping around. We're seeing rain chances pick back up across western parts of the viewing area, and a couple of spots around, let's say, Twin Grove, Eureka, El Dorado, maybe back down close to Sedan. Upstairs, a little bit of snow trying to mix in, so that's something we'll still watch as we go throughout the course of the evening. But at least we're dry in Joplin, sitting at 50 with the southwest wind at 17, gusting near 25. We have lower 40s in our western counties, lower 50s for pretty much the rest of the region, but everyone's going to see temperatures take quite a tumble as the rain chances pick up late tonight and we drop back into the mid-30s, maybe some upper 30s for some of you. Again, though, looking at the big picture, remember this system is covering quite an amount of real estate. Not only is it a slow mover, but producing quite a bit of severe weather in parts of the deep south this afternoon and evening. But again, we're dealing with the backside of the system now, and we just have to wait for this upper level low to kick out of the central plains. Once it does, that ridge out west is going to treat us to a warmer, brighter, and dry weekend that will certainly savor. So the backside of the system rotates on in. We'll see the scattered showers pick up during the night, and maybe at times a few snowflakes trying to mix in. Doug and I keep looking at this setup. It's not looking like a big deal, even if some snow did try to come on down. Look at how we're mainly still in the mid to upper 30s by tomorrow morning, and certainly in the lower 40s going into tomorrow afternoon. So we're not worried about anything sticking, but we're just going to have these light periods of showers and even some drizzle throughout a good portion of the day. 36 in the morning, 40 by noon, highs around 42 degrees. Quick look at tomorrow night shows maybe a little bit of a lull in the action, then another quick burst of mainly rain showers, maybe a couple of snowflakes, not a big deal, but once we get to tomorrow afternoon, the system finally clears out. 42 tomorrow, 47 on Thursday. Great for the weekend. We're dry. Highs near 60 Friday and Saturday, near 70 on Sunday. Then we'll focus on our next bigger system by early next week now.
Yeah, the timing of the nice weather is certainly fortunate. It coincides with our weekend once again.
Very nice with Mother Nature to do that.
You bet. Thanks, Nick. Still ahead, the Pitt State football team hits the field for their first spring practice. We're going to hear from the team. And Player of the Year honors for Galena standout Brett Sarwinski. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Today is the opening day of spring practice for Pittsburgh State football. The Gorillas have 14 practices scheduled in the next few weeks before playing their annual spring game on April 15th. Now, the Gorillas return 8 offensive guys and 7 on defense who started at least 5 games last season. They finished 8-3 overall last fall, good for 4th in the MIAA. Pitt State is heading into year 2 under head coach Brian Wright. Here he is on the off season and working to close the gap from where they are and where they want to be in 2022.
Want to play with great effort. In order to do that, we have to practice with it, and we've been paying close attention to the details here this offseason and know that there's a lot of things we've got to do better, and we want to close the gap from 8-3 to an even better record next season.
It was just good to be out here doing some football stuff again, and it felt good. I felt like our tempo was really good, and we're just learning how to have the right tempo when we're not wearing pads. So yeah, I felt like we did well for the first day.
I thought we had a lot of great enthusiasm and effort. It was there, running to the ball. Guys, just high energy. It was a lot of fun.
Spring training action today. Cardinals facing the Marlins. In the fourth, Paul Goldschmidt drives it to left. One hops over the wall for the ground rule double. Goldschmidt goes 1 for 3 today. Just 2 batters later, Nolan Arenado lifts it to left center. This clears the wall for the 2-run homer. St. Louis goes up 3-0. Brendan Donovan would also homer later for the Cards. They win today 4-3. Cardinals now 4-0 to begin spring training. Galena's Brett Sarwinski is the Sports in Kansas 3A Boys Basketball Player of the Year. That's the second straight season Sarwinski has earned that honor. The senior guard, who's great all season for the Bulldogs. Sarwinski posted 19.5 points and 7 rebounds per game. He also dished out 4 assists per night. Sarwinski helped Galena make 3 straight appearances in the 3A state tournament, including 2 Final Fours, and leaves the school as the program's all-time leading scorer.
It's a lot to me, you know. You do all that hard work in the gym, you know, it's all summertime. You're just always working on your game. And when you can go out and perform to the best of your ability and get rewarded at the end, it's a great feeling.
He's just a great player as far as basketball IQ. I mean, he did a great job leading us as a team, putting people in the right places at times on his own out there. You know, he could, you know, guide the other players on what to do, and he kind of led us in that way as far as being the floor general. First time we've had one at all, and to do it 2 years in a row, it's a credit to him and how hard he's worked for 4 years, and even longer than 4 years, probably worked for his whole life to get to this point.
Finally, I know this isn't Pitt State or Missouri Southern, but the Northwest Missouri State men still carrying the torch for the MIAA in the national tournament. The Bearcats beat Bentley 61-43 in the Elite 8 this afternoon to move on to the Final Four. Trevor Hudgens scores a team-high 24 points. Northwest Missouri now moves on to play in the national semifinals on Thursday against Black Hills State. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Earl Thomas served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 45. Carl Junction, Missouri native, was stationed in Italy as the tail gunner for the 485th Bomb Group. He earned 6 Bronze Stars, 2 Oak Leaf Clusters, among other awards. We're proud to salute Earl Thomas, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Vernon County Historical Society hosts a gala and auction to support the Bushwhacker Museum. Plus, we're going to have more on the damage from the tornado that hit parts of Oklahoma and Texas. And the U.S. Senate continues its confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. Hope you'll stay with us for those stories. A lot more coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on our sister station, Fox 14. Meantime, kind of gray, a bit damp out there now.
Yeah, we're going to hold on to showers for a few more days, maybe a couple snowflakes at times, but still not a big deal. 40s for the next few days, then we're back near 60 on Friday.
Final sports notes.
Former Chiefs wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson is signing a deal with the Raiders, so they've already lost him. They lost Byron Pringle. I don't know who's going to, perform on offense for the Kansas. Oh, I guess they do have 2 good guys, right?
Oh yeah, the guy named Kelsey, I think it's a Hill, something like that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.